Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Snugs, and today we're going to be doing a build guide and gameplay premiere on the Avatar Druid. So this is a very strong, pretty much anywhere in the game, maybe minus Ubers and Declone, but pretty much any of the tier mapping anywhere in the game, this build is very, very strong. So we're going to go over the gear first, and then we're going to move into skills, and then we are going to go into a map, and I'll show you what this does to T3. This build is capable of running maps in under 14 minutes. Tier 3 full clear in under 14 minutes. It's extremely strong, it's very tanky, which is nice, and you can actually run this build without a ton of expensive gear. You can run this build early on. Now, the gear that I have is very expensive, but like I said, there are other options to go with, so I'll kind of work those in as we're going over the gear. But anyway, let's start. The first item is going to be Heart of the Oak, aka Hodo. This is going to be best in slot here. You need the res. The faster cast rate is huge here. It gives you a little bit of dex, which isn't really great for us, but it's okay, I guess. You also increase your maximum mana and maximum life a huge amount with Hodo, so this is probably best in slot here. You would probably want to go with Crystal Sword here if you can't afford a Hodo or are unable to get the Vex rune, whatever it may be. Next one is going to be a Shale P Topaz 2 open socket Harlequin Crest Shaco. Some people are choosing to go with the Ravenlore, the 3 open socket Ravenlore, for more damage, but I don't think that I need more damage. I literally one-shot almost everything in T3. There's the occasional elite pack where I'm not one-shotting them, but I'm pretty much two-shotting them. So I just don't think that more damage is necessary. I would rather have the hit recovery and the mass amount of magic find that this provides, that the Harlequin Crest Shaco provides, especially with the P Topaz in there. Next would be Mara's. Optimally, you'd probably want a 3 to all skills Mara's. This one's a little bit over on all resist, which is nice because, as you'll see later, I am not using Chains of Honor. I'd say most people are using Chains of Honor here. But I'm using a 2 to all skills, 32 all res Mara's, which means this was initially a 27 all res Mara's. I'm using a 10% faster cast rate Wisp Projector. This is one of the most expensive items in the game. This is around 30 high runes. Again, you don't need this item. Rare rings are always a really good choice if you want to go cast straight. You could pick up like a CNC Stone of Jordan or a CNC BK if you want to go way down in cost and still get that kind of plus skills. I have a 10% faster cast rate BK. Again, really expensive, but there's other options. Rare rings are a great choice. There's 2 things that we're not getting here, and we're not getting any resists from these. Yes, we're getting more damage, but we're not getting more resists. So take that into account when you're looking at what rings you're going to be using for your Avatar Druid. But I would say that these are probably best in slot here. Arachnid's Mesh. This one's just CNC, 108% enhanced defense. Cast rate, all skills, it's just the best in slot. You could go with something like a Towel Spell or a Gold Wrap or something with Magic Find if you wanted heavier MF. But we are, in fact, reaching 236 Magic Find on this build, and it's absolutely crushing T3. You might notice at the top left of the screen I have my finds list from today. We did, in fact, find Tyrael's Might today, which was a huge milestone in my D2 career. Even though it was Path of Diablo, it's still extremely rare. Most people have never dropped it in their life, so I was ecstatic when that happened. Stop by the Twitch channel. I'll probably upload a clip of it later on YouTube. But anyway, I've got 7 all-res Mage Fist. I would like to have 10 here, but 7's good enough. I am capped on everything except Cold, which is arguably the least important resistance. Next up, we have Sandstorm Trex, probably my favorite boots in the game, the hit recovery and the huge poison res. These are anti-perfect poison res, but they have 10% cooldown. The reason is because we've got our Flame Dash, which is doing the brunt of our damage, and we want that cooldown as little as possible, that way we can actually do more damage. Cooldown equals damage in this case. And then we have Phoenix. You're probably going to go Spirit Shield here if you can't afford a Phoenix. But this gives us a massive amount of sustain, regenerates life and mana. It's essentially infinite, which is really, really nice, obviously. So if you can, go with a Phoenix. It's best in slot. On swap, we have a CTA and a Spirit to buff our CTA. In charms, we're just using all res, some magic find, some res, stuff like that. We got a 1817 Druid Torch and a 121910 Annie. Perfect 40 Geeds. We just found this recently. That was a nice find. And then some LE skills, some nice, some plain, kind of all mixed in, a little bit of strength, etc., etc. I might actually be over on. Yeah, I'm over on strength a little bit, but it's hard to say because of the Enigma gives you so much strength. Now we can talk about the choice of Enigma here. I like Enigma because my reses are so high. Most people are using Chains of Honor. It's going to be equal damage. You're going to still get a little bit of magic find from it, but because my res is so good from my other choices here, and you know my small charms and whatnot, I don't need Chains of Honor. It doesn't make any sense for me to use it here, in my opinion. So I think the faster run walk, the 2 skills, the mass amount of strength, the increased life, just everything here is fantastic. Also, the life after each kill is really nice here. But 94% magic find is essentially the reason why I'm using this here. The plus skills and the magic find. Super good. Anyway, let's go on to skills. We'll start with the summoning tree. This is just purely for keeping us buffed. It doesn't actually do any damage, but you're going to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Literally just 1 into each one of these. You could choose to put points into Oak Sage later, but because I have so many plus skills, I end up getting plus 72% life from my Oak Sage, so I don't really need to put more points into Oak Sage. But you're going to actually be summoning all 4 of these live, so you're going to start by summoning each of those Oak Sage, summon Spirit Wolf, summon Dire Wolf, and summon Grizzly before you go into your tier map or Chaos Run or whatever it may be. Shapeshifting, absolutely nothing. And Elemental is where it gets a little funky because you have some choices here. You don't have to do exactly what I did, but I will show you what I did. You're going to put 1 into Firestorm. You're going to max Molten Boulder because it's a synergy with Flame Dash. Like I said, the brunt of your damage is coming from Flame Dash. So that, unfortunately, is the only synergy with Flame Dash, except for your energy, and I'll explain that later on. Arctic Blast, you're going to put 1 just to get down into your synergies here. So you're going to go into here, 1, 1, 1, 1 in each of these. You're going to max Tornado, max Hurricane, 1, 1, and then 1 here. So basically that's really it, honestly. You're going to want to max Hurricane as well as Tornado, and then your final points, you can either start putting them into Twister, or what you can do is you can put them into Cyclone Armor for a little bit more toughness. Or what you can do is if you want more physical or fire damage, you can actually go into Armageddon, because you're going to have your Armageddon up at all times. So that's kind of your choice right there. The other option would be to keep going into Oak Sage, but that's completely up to you. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and open a T3, and I will show you how disgusting this is in T3. So let us start. And I'll show you, before we do that, I'll show you the stats that I have. And I'll go buff real quick. So I have basically 2,000 health with Oak Sage. Now if I summon Oak Sage again, and then buff again, it's gonna CTA my Oak Sage, so I get about another 30 health. Usually I don't bother though, honestly. But yeah, my res are all very nice. Obviously magic resist you can't get any, so besides the little tiny portion at the bottom of items, but other than that you can't really get any. I'm at 100 faster cast rate. The breakpoint is 99. You can easily do a breakpoint below that, which I can't actually remember offhand what the breakpoint is, but basically you'd be getting rid of your rings here, and you'll be in that breakpoint. Other than that, all the gear is the same. So you'd be getting rid of your FCR rings here, you would hit the 1 breakpoint lower, and you'd be just fine. I ran it actually that way for a long time until I could get the 10 FCR Wisp Projector and the 10 FCR BK. But anyway, I'm gonna take you into a T3, and let's kill all the fangs. This build is really good, man. It's really, really good. Alright, here we go. So you're gonna get your Hurricane up and your Armageddon, and you're literally just going to Flame Dash. Now it only lasts about 18 seconds, so you have to kind of be, okay, nice little pull rune. you're going to have to be kind of counting in your head what you want to do here. Or when you're going to have to recast. So I'm getting close. I know because I played the build a lot, so you want to stop and then keep going. And you're good to go. You're also going to want to recast your Cyclone Armor here and there. But, yeah, it's, I mean, you can see what it's doing to T3. It's pretty gross. So we're going to get our recast going in. You can do it on the move, and it's easier to do it on the move if you have high FCR, but it's not always 100% recast because of input lag, stuff like that. So usually I recommend actually kind of stopping after you kill the room, right? So my Oak Sage went down. Stopping, and then casting your 2 abilities, or casting your Cyclone Armor as well. And just kind of keep moving forward, kill your packs. There are no fire immunes in T3, so this is very, very strong. I forgot to show you guys the Merc. I'm going to show you the Merc here real quick. This is just what I've chose to use. You could use other options as well. But I have a 4 open socket shaft stop with an and then there's an IAS melee splash in here, and then there is an ED jewel in here as well. So that's just what I've chosen to use. I don't want my Merc dying because he has the Infinity. This is a huge damage buff to us, so I'm using I'm using a ridiculous amount of damage reduction. I have 49% damage reduction on my Merc. Yeah, so I was using Vamp Gaze. It's got an IAS ED jewel in there, and then he's got I can't remember what else is in there. It's an IAS ED jewel, and it's minimum damage. Minimum damage, I think. I can't remember what the other one is, honestly, but there's a lot of options you can use in here. You could also put your melee splash in here as well. And then I happen to have a perfect Infinity. It was just a lucky roll, but in Path of Diablo 170 is perfect. So we'll keep running down here, and we'll keep killing stuff. Yeah, we had an amazing, the last 2 streams we had a ridiculous find day. Found Griffins and Tyrael's Might within 3 days. Found 3 different times we found Shadow Dancers. So technically, I believe, the 10th rarest item in the game. Get my Armageddon going. There we go. And there is one thing I will mention about this build, is that you are probably not going to kill every monster. The Necro that I play is better at killing pretty much every monster because it spreads throughout the entire room. So get used to just skipping a little bit. You know what I mean? Kill the main... Ooh, nice Chaos. Get used to just killing the main groups of monsters and then just kind of skipping a little bit here and there. It's actually going to be more efficient to just skip a little bit. See how I'm kind of weaving back and forth? Try to make your flame dashes as profitable as you can each time that you dash. So I'm going to come around the corner here, boom, we'll kill the Harpies, and then we got probably a 2-pop hit there. So 2 pops, we kill everything, and just kind of keep moving through. So I'm going to probably leave the snakes unless they, yep, I had to go back. Recast my stuff. Oak Sage is about to die. What you usually want to do is recast your Oak Sage before it's dead. So when it's almost dead, just recast it real quick. Keep that life up. I have 1300 health without Oak Sage, so it's not bad by any means, but you know, it's a lot safer feeling when you have 2000 health versus 1300 health. Now, one of the downsides to this build is that it's not particularly great at bosses. So the tier bosses can hurt a little bit, and I'll show you kind of the technique that I've found that works best for me. I'm at 10k damage, by the way. 10k flame dash. Yeah, there we go. So some people are running 13k, some people are running less. It doesn't matter, we got our boss here. But just kind of depends on what you work for you. What I found is at about 10k damage, plus, you know, my 240 magic find is a really nice combo, plus my 100 FCR, all that stuff. So you kind of have an option here. I like to clean out the edges of the room, and he hurts pretty bad. So we're going to come out, summon, and then hop back in on him, right? Once you see your Oak Sage, jump back out. And we basically get free health pots because of the Phoenix. So all the stuff that's dead around us, right, is going to kind of buff us out. I haven't touched a health bot, by the way. Boom, he's dead. I had to touch one there. But yeah, you get the idea. So kind of jump in, jump out. So when he's, you know, let's say he's right here, jump out of the pit, get your Oak Sage back up, your summons back up, you know, bow, whatever you need to do, and then come back in and kill him. I found that is the best way. Some people like to tornado the boss. I think that you end up doing, the way that I'm spec'd, you end up doing more damage with your Flame Dash, so it's better to just hop on him continuously, I've found. But, yeah. This build can definitely handle any of the tier bosses. It's not... That was, honestly, probably one of the sketchier times I've ever had with that boss. I have never died on this character, and I'm level 94. I have never once died. It's very, very tanky. It's very safe. Definitely hardcore viable. And a tier 2 and a tier 4. Okay. And a foul rune. Nice. We're doing. I swear, every time that I've made a video and done a tier run, we found something good. Last time we found an Ariat's face and a, I think it was Titans right on top of each other. So this is kind of a thicker room, so I kind of do like almost like an S pattern on the way through. And then I'll just, again, I'll just leave a little bit in the room. I don't really care. I'm not killing every single monster. I'm just killing the main groups and then moving on. I am not the best at this build. I'm still getting used to it, but yeah, getting that timing to make sure that your Armageddon and Hurricane come back up is can be a little bit tricky at times, but usually I can get it down. You can also let stuff kind of float in towards you. I probably wouldn't recommend using Doom, because I actually want things to come into me. I want things to run at me. Doom on your Merc, that is. So I'm using the Shaft Stop setup and the Vamp Gaze with Infinity. Infinity is definitely your best choice here. I would have a hard time imagining anything else being a better in-slot item than Infinity. But what you could do is use an Insight if you don't have Phoenix. That'd probably be a really good bet for you. You could also go Fortitude. Fortitude's a solid choice instead of the Shaft Stop. But again, I just don't want my Merc to die. So without Shaft Stop, the tier 3 boss really punches your Merc in the face. So I like having that combo, that 49% damage reduction on my Merc, so I don't have to worry about him dying. Alright, so we're basically at the end here of our first lap, and then I'll start our second lap here. I'm still on the fence whether I like doing laps or whether I like doing kind of a lawnmower and full clearing. Which is kind of sad that I haven't decided what I like more yet, because I mean, I'm level 97 and a half almost on my Necro. I still haven't decided. But both ways work well. So sometimes I just kind of mix it up and I'll do either. Alright, so we'll recast our stuff here real quick. Our bow is probably going to fall off soon. Yoink. And again, I stream almost daily, guys, at twitch.tv/it's_snugs. So yeah, if you ever have any questions, you can stop by too. I make all these videos in just kind of one shot, mostly for my viewers that come to the stream that have questions or want the full build guide on what they see me playing. So yeah, you can always stop by if you have questions. I got a little bit of controversy on my Necro guide because it's kind of an unusual build. people are like, well, why aren't you using Bramble, or, you know, Trangs is stronger, or all that. I'm like, you can see in the comments my responses to those comments. But at the end of the day, guys, whatever works for you, whatever gets it done for you, do it. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what other people say too much. But yeah, I love my Necro build. It's very, very effective, and it got me Tyrael's Might today, so I'll take it. Little set amulet. First one in 20 years. I've never dropped Tyrael's before today. Pretty stoked. So there's kind of a couple ways of recasting. One, there's hop, cast, hop, cast, hop, cast. So you have all three up. The other is stopping and doing all three in a row, basically. I like the hop cast, but your success rate of successfully casting each skill is lower in that method. So I do hop, hurricane, hop. Okay, let me try it again. Hop, hurricane, hop, Armageddon, hop, cyclone armor, or in whichever order that you like. But that way you can kind of keep moving without stopping. The other one would be, again, you stop and cast all three like I am doing right there. That is the other option. Alright, so we got this side done. And we'll move over to the other side here. Recast my stuff, and then we'll get going on the choo-choo train here. And we don't have our Armageddon up. There we go. We've pretty much already cleared this, man. This build does really, really fast clear. T3, it's very good in T4 as well. It's not quite as good in Tier 1 and Tier 2. So actually what I like to do is I like to use this build for Tier 3s. Ooh, Hotspurs. That is a really rare one. That is my first time dropping Hotspurs this ladder, at least I believe. See you guys? Druid OP, man. But it's very strong. Very, very strong build. And so anyway, I was saying, I like doing my Tier 1s and Tier 2s and rushing them with Necro. And then I will do all my T3s with Druid. Not always, but most of the time I'll do them with Druid. And then for Tier 4s, I'll hop back on Necro. I would say that this build and my Necro build are on par with each other for Tier 4, but this has a slight edge in T3. The thing about the Necro that's maybe a slight advantage in T3 is that it literally kills everything. It clears the entire room. So this, you gotta work a little bit more to clear everything. See how everything's kind of not grouped up? That is one of the downsides to this build, is you kind of got to do a little bit more work to clean up the room. And that is a run, guys, that fast. Pretty much, I got a little bit more to go. We dropped 2 Zods today. 2 Zods and a Tyrael's Might. It was a pretty epic day. Dropped Vex as well. But Vex is a lot easier to drop. Anyway, guys, that's the run. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave me a sub. And also, yeah, man, come to the channel. Come to twitch.tv/its_snugs. And come visit me, guys. Come say hi. And if you have any questions, you can come ask me there. Or you can put it in the comments below. Whatever works for you. All right, guys, have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Take it easy, lemon squeezy. Peace out, guys.